Hello, the Cheap Lazy Prepper here. If you're considering buying a 30-day emergency food supply bucket versus your own food, or any other time frame for that matter, stick around. I may have some information that will help you make the decision. So, I'm going to bring up a web page here. This is for the more low-end emergency food supply buckets, and right now they are going for around $140 for a 30-day supply for one person. So what I did is I've been purchasing some long-term staples for my pantry, and I spent around $140, and I simply am tallying up the amount of calories purchased for the cost and the amount of protein included. And as you can see, they're very similar. I spent around $143. I got a very similar amount of calories and protein in what I purchased versus the 30-day supply bucket. Now, there are some pros and cons to the 30-day supply bucket. One of the pros is you have more complete meals, more variety, and a little more thought and nutrition put into them. They may be slightly more difficult to prepare depending on what you are stocking in your pantry. They're a little more easy to transport. And the big selling point is really, besides the variety and sort of menu planning, is that they're built to last for, years and years, like 25 years. Whereas if you're purchasing your own food and rotating it through in your pantry, it's not going to last for 25 years, but it can still last quite a long time. So in my pantry, we are building a system of things that we eat anyways, and we're trying to keep a 1-year supply on hand. This is just what was purchased with that amount that I showed you on the screen there earlier. So, as you can see, for $143, this is way more food than would be required for one person for a month when comparing it to what's in that 30-day supply bucket. You're going to get more flavor and more variety there, but in terms of nutrition, even though the calorie count appears to be the same, this is more like something that would feed my family for close to a month or several weeks if we were eating light. I'm not saying eating great, but if we're eating light. Now, don't take this and turn it into a 30-day supply list, because it's really lopsided in terms of nutrition. This is just me stocking my pantry, but it does demonstrate the cost and the value per calories and the effectiveness of purchasing your own food. So what did I get? I got these seasoning packets, some stew soup mix, some pre-mixed spaghetti type stuff, sweet potato type yams, white potatoes, tuna fish, canned chicken, some lentils, about 8 packets of lentils and beans, about 45 pounds of rice, some ramen noodles, about 8 packets of sort of shorter noodles, another 4 packets of straight noodles, and then like 28 cans of beans of various kinds. So between all that, there's more than enough to make 2 good, strong meals a day for our entire family. So really, if we weren't looking at the calorie count and we were looking at sort of the food, you could multiply that by 4. So their cost would be more like $420. You would get a lot more calories, but you'd be spending a lot more for food to actually fill the stomachs of 4 people, even considering the buy 2 get 1 free deal. So for what it's worth, my recommendation would be to stock your own food that you're using and eating. Get things that are going to last at least a year. Like almost all of this stuff has a best if used by of at least 1 year or more. And then you have plenty of time to rotate through a 1-month supply that you're keeping on hand without having to change anything in your life, really. The only slightly more difficult thing might be storing the rice that isn't going to hold up for a month unless it's packaged in a slightly different way. So stay tuned for future videos. I'm going to be talking a lot about what to do to be prepared for various levels of emergency, from small to large. Hope that helps. Have a great day, and we'll see you in the next video.